survive. That'll be really, really good. Okay, questions. I'm gonna have a slurp of coffee. I'm gonna pause this. I'm gonna bring chat on. I should like have questions, music, or something. I don't know. Something entertaining the stream other than just my face, my beautiful face. Here we go. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee while people keep asking questions. And then we're gonna start with Arcathor. Yeah, Arcathor bot. Wonderful. Okay, let's go. Let's take him. What do I do as Mercy when the enemy Reaper has all the freedom in the world and is flanking me the whole time? You tuck into your team more. So in general, you want to be a bit behind your team, okay? You want to be like in the back, nice and safe. But if the enemy is constantly getting around to you in the back, then you start balling up more and more and more and more. Now you might be thinking, oh shit, that means he can death bossum all of us. Well, he's going to death bossum you anyway, so like... If he death bottoms all of you, that's honestly probably better for you because you have a chance to dash away from it, then res everyone, than just getting killed repeatedly and then never being able to res anyone because he's just shotgunning you to death. Tuck into your team a little bit more, say, guys, can someone deal with this Reaper? And probably name someone to deal with the Reaper. So say, like, McCree, can you just keep an eye out for the Reaper? Soldier, can you keep an eye out for the Reaper? You'll find that naming people and trying to just assign a little bit of roles around actually makes people do things. There's this thing called bystander theory, or bystander principle, where if something bad is happening and someone, if you're like in a crowd and someone faints and then someone runs over and goes, someone, call 911. No one calls 911. And you're actually trained in this in first aid. You don't say, someone, call 911. You say, do you have a mobile phone? Yeah, call 911 or 112 or 999 or whatever the emergency number is. You do that. You name someone to do it and they will do it. Because most people are willing to help, most people want to help, but they just think when there's a group, oh, someone else will do it. And that will just absolve me of responsibility. So name someone as well is really, really helpful. But yeah, tucking to your team is the primary thing, just so that when Reaper does come around and he starts going bang, 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 everyone goes, ooh, there's a Reaper, and then they turn around and shoot and kill him. Drive Dr. Car. Oh, God. Dr. equals drive. I thought it said dry, which it just is even worse. What's the general rule about attempting to res failed pushes? For example, your team uses an ult or two, then 4 people die, 2 can be res. Is that worth it, or do you just pull back? It depends on what you got out of those 2 ults. If you run in and you fired off 2 ultimates already, 2 people die, but none of the enemy team died, they didn't use any resources, there's no fucking point. The reason why like reses like that are called tempo reses is they maintain tempo, as in speed of the fight. They maintain pace in the fight. So if you've run in, you fight off 2 ults and none of them have died, you actually have no pace in the fight. So maintaining that pace while, putting a multiplier on 0 still equals 0, you're not actually putting any pace into the fight, you're just picking people up, blowing even more resources, then the enemy team still has all their resources and they can counteract it. The point of getting a tempo res mid-fight is usually when the enemy team has reacted and then done something in retaliation, or 1 or 2 of them are dead, 1 or 2 of yours are dead, and then you swing the fight back into your favor with a res, and then you just keep fighting and win because they don't have resources to deal with the threats that are coming back. Like I said before, if you're resing a Roadhog, for example, as well, so it depends on who's died. So, for example, if it's Zenyatta and a Symmetra who have died, like, resing them, what the fuck is that going to do? It's not going to really alter the fight too much. If it's a Roadhog and a Reinhardt, well, resing Reinhardt's like a fucking 2,500 hit point res. Resing Roadhog's a 600 hit point res. Like, that's huge value, and they probably don't have tools to deal with that. So it's just sort of getting used to it and knowing the pace of the fight. I'm a big fan of tempo reses. I'm really, really bad at like the hide away, duck away. Oh no, I'm so super scared. I can't res anyone. I can't do anything. Like, I'm really bad at doing those reses because I get impatient. But I'm generally really good at tempo reses because I'm good at reading a pace of a fight and knowing, okay, we just need like a little bit of a push, and if you get that, we win this, and that's when you want to do the tempo res. When you are seeing like, okay, people are sort of dying at the same pace, but they don't have, they've used sound barrier, and now that's burnt off. Okay, let's pick up Soldier and Roadhog. And suddenly we can just instantly win because they don't have any tools to stop us, or they have to use, Earth Shadow or Graviton Surge or big ultimates to counter our Resurrect. They have to have these follow-ups. And that's how I try and judge a tempo res. Since it's less of an issue, since the dual zone update at least, mine's about 20 for most characters. Yeah, I have no idea. Unfortunately, I can't give too much input on like how to configure yourself best on console. Just make sure that you are looking for threats. After that, what heroes does Mercy work well with? Let's answer this question. What kind of heroes does Mercy work best with, and what heroes don't she work best with? She doesn't work best with flankers. Like, stuff that's going to run away from Mercy, like, Mercy doesn't want to be in the back line of the enemy team. She's going to be looking around and going, Gott in Himmel, what am I doing here? And then dying. Because she doesn't want to be there. So if your team's running like Genji, Tracer, and Winston, Mercy probably not so good. If you're running like Reinhardt, Soldier, McCree, holy shit, you're a god. If you're running Pharah, Pharah is really good with Mercy for the reason that I said before, that Pharah does these big chunks of damage, and also her biggest weakness is her survivability, by providing a cushion of survivability for her, because she's regenerating hit points at 50 hit points a second, so she's very hard to finish off, and providing her damage increase by like a 33% damage increase. It's huge, it's massive, it's really, really changing how it works. It means that she can probably two-shot most people with her rockets, even if she doesn't land direct hits. She's going to be picking people off more reliably. So that's why the pharmacy is so strong. McCree, very good with Mercy. Widowmaker, very good with Mercy. Reinhardt, very good with Mercy. Roadhog is like a battery for your ultimate. Diva's exactly the same as well. Both tanks in general are very good with Mercy, just for charging your resurrects nice and fast. Zarya, very good with Mercy. Zarya on the enemy team, also very good with Mercy, just because the Graviton Surge is like a predictable team wipe that you can, Graviton does your job for you, because you usually have to make a call out saying, yeah, guys, fight and die on the point. Well, Graviton sort of goes, oh, hello, enemy team, let's put you all in one nice location. Oh, hi, Mercy. Woo, heroes never die. And then everyone's back and alive. So that's very good. So avoid flankers, play Zenyatta Lucio or Ana Lucio or anything like that with flankers. And like I'd say Zenyatta Lucio, for example, might even be better, but then Ana just brings Nano Blade and then Genji kills everything. So you're going to be running Ana probably, and she can keep the Winston alive through more. So hey, yeah, that's probably where Ana works better, but for now, Ana dominates anyway. But yeah, I think that's answered that question, hopefully. Is it wise to sit on your res to try for the big one, or should some characters be insta-res? The situation your team is in dictate this, if you're comfortably in control or on the back foot, for example. Well, the easy, lazy answer is, of course, it depends. In general, you want to be sitting on your res. And you want to be keeping track of like enemy ults. And I've noticed that the higher rank you are, the easier it is to hold onto your res and get a big res. Because higher level team fights are generally a lot cleaner and a lot faster in terms of like they get a big ult, the enemy team capitalizes, everyone dies. Usually happens a lot more at like the very highest level. When it gets scrappy and starts breaking down, that's when you want to be thinking, okay, do I try and tempo res this? And then you want to be looking for the things I was talking about earlier, where, what advantages do we have? What have they used? Can they just use something instantly to counter it? All that kind of stuff needs to be sort of zipping through your brain, because you're Mercy, you're holding down left and right mouse button. You've got time to think about this kind of stuff. So you should be thinking about it. You should be paying attention to the fight and seeing, okay, if I pick up these two people, do they have enough to win? And that's the sort of awareness level you need to have in determining, is this now the time to res? Or do you just scrap the fight and say, nope, let's back off? The one thing I will also say is that Resurrect charges relatively fast. I mean, it used to charge just mind-blowingly fast, and this might just be my conditioning from that era, but it's still pretty quick in terms of how fast it charges. So, like, resing and then the fight's lost isn't the biggest deal in the world. One of the best damage boost targets, so like anything that deals reliable damage or anything that can deal damage very rapidly. So Soldier, for example, is very good because he's got long range. You can also just keep the damage jump on Soldier longer because he can heal himself, so he looks after himself. McCree, for example, it makes him so much more threatening. Damage amp McCree can just kill people like that. Pharah, very good, just burst damage, makes him damage more reliable. I'd say bad targets, stuff like Diva, it's like unreliable damage. Low charge, Zarya is never going to be a good idea. It's like that's our last resort. Reinhardt's actually a very good target to damage amp if he's swinging, because he does so much damage anyway. Like, amping that pushes him over 100 damage per swing, or puts him about 100 damage per swing. So that's absolutely huge. That will really, really do stuff. Like yesterday's face, yes, I've been retweeting memes with that face all day. Congratulations, guys. Yeah, in general, follow the common logic. They've been picked for a reason. Damage boost is just powerful anyway. It's very strong anyway. I mean, it's been nerfed once, basically. Used to be too powerful. 50% damage amp was crazy. I don't know if you know this, but for projectiles, the damage is amp on the hit, so yes. So this is more important for like Junkrat, who has very delayed bombs, but the damage amp, like if you're damage amping Junkrat and he's just spamming, and then you swap to healing, the damage amp actually applies when the explosion happens, not when he shoots the projectile. So you want to be thinking, if Junkrat's just spamming and he's not hitting anything, then you can use that opportunity to top him off. Don't worry about amping him. When it starts hitting stuff, then you hold down right mouse button or R1, I think in this case, if I look down here, it says R1. Then that's when you want to be doing the damage amp to get the damage out. You can try and be fancy and try and flicker between the two, but I think that's maybe being a little bit optimistic. Just holding down right mouse button doesn't hurt too much. It's not a bad idea to maybe try and get into the habit of it. It's like you flickering, you'll probably do better for Junkrat, less so for Pharah, because Pharah's spam rate's fairly consistent, and you want to be protecting Pharah anyway. Like the second Pharah takes damage, you want to be healing that back up. Can Mercy work in dive comps? Like I've kind of explained that already. The answer is no. She has to be too near the fight in dive comps to heal. And it's not so much the question of like, can Mercy work? Yeah, maybe. You could try and brute force it in. The question is Mercy the best choice for that? And the answer is no. You can do more with a Zenyatta. Zenyatta can be safer, he can deal more damage, you can designate targets, you can do more with Ana. She can sleep dart people, she can keep Winston alive, she can anti-heal the enemy team. They have more utility there, better for it. You're not going to be floating in with the Genji, putting a damage amp on him so he can kill people more reliably, or do it to Tracer, for example. It's just not feasible because they're running around too far in front for you to be there, and if you are running out there, you're going to die. Classy music, I'll look at that later. I don't want to just open it on stream, is the thing. Your sense of console, yeah. Again, I can't comment on that. The only time I played on a console was I was literally doing camera, and I found like controller is really good for camera. How do you survive when you're being targeted by at least 2 enemies and you keep on dying? If you've got a Pharah on your team, going up. Like, this is another reason why Pharmacy is so good. We talked about a lot of advantages for the Pharah. Big advantage for the Mercy is you have an escape route that's up. Otherwise, just try and dash to the furthest away target, because that will just give you a nice long dash, and you can cancel the dash if you need to. So yeah, you can like do that kind of stuff. So that's always a very good idea. Yeah, dashing pistol, Mercy pistol is pretty good. Mercy pistol actually does quite a lot of damage. You'd be surprised. Like I think there is a meme that was floating around, you know, Mercy main surprising amount of damage or whatever. It's true. Mercy's pistol's actually okay. It's not a terrible weapon, and on headshots deals about 40 damage. You just fire it at head tight and then hope you get the hits. Could you imagine a good penalty for I need healing spammers? Oh god. Actually, can I find it? Can I actually find this while I look up the next question? Every character saying I need thing. Let's see. Someone put this up on SoundCloud. Because this was like terrifying. There it is.
I need healing. I need a doctor.
I need healing. I need healing. I need healing. I want healing.
I need healing. I
need a doctor.
Enough. Stop. Finish. Jesus. Spamming it, like, if it's a Genji and he's 3 miles away, you just fucking ignore it. Like, when someone says, I need healing, like, I wish it never said, I need healing. It said, like, I want healing, I desire healing, I require healing, or something like that. Because I need healing, it's like a demand. I need healing right now. Wah, wah, wah. I've always hated the phrasing. Like, one of the bits of feedback I gave a couple of times during the beta was, can we change the wording on that from, like, I desire healing? Because I need healing is such a demand. If they're spamming it and they're in bad locations, just tell them I can't get to you. You have to come back if you want healing. If they keep spamming it, just ignore it and put it out of your mind. If they're spamming it and distracting you, honestly, if you put them on ignore, you can't see it anymore. I think that actually works. Or just try and ignore it, like block it out of your mind, and just prioritize on the targets you know you can heal. Again, like I said earlier with the Dr. Cox rant, part of it is being self-confident and knowing, like, I need to heal this, I need to heal that kind of thing. Chat, help, my parents are getting me any game I want. What do you get? Resident Evil 7's pretty good. If you're not a huge pussy. Is there any situation where Mercy is superior to Ana, assuming equal skill with both? No, and that's kind of the problem. And the problem is that Ana's kit is just too good. Like, Sleep Dart is too useful. Healing output is better. She's safer. She's better against flankers. Healing Grenade is just amazing in general. At high levels, the healing is just as reliable. So, better head off to work. Bye, Mr. Mage. You're probably long gone because that was like 10 minutes ago. As a Pharah player, I feel like when I'm playing with a Mercy, she dies a lot because of me. Is there something I can do to make her more safe? She dies to a lot of hit scans. Better too. You need to do a full coaching and Dr. Cox. I don't think I can come up with that many girls' names. Think about cover a lot and make sure that the Mercy's staying in cover a lot. Like, Mercy doesn't have to follow you into this guy. Also, don't be afraid to say, like, yeah, I'm going to go in hard. Don't bother following me, Mercy. Or I'll come back if I need healing. Like, don't be afraid to, like, separate that umbilical cord. A lot of Mercies feel almost obligated to follow the Pharah. You don't have to. If Pharah starts going too far for you, you know, no means no, guys. So you just let the Pharah go. Let it go and do a suicide mission. Don't get yourself dragged into it because you're very useful when you're more useful when you're alive than dead. And yeah, be just very conscious of, like, when you jump up, make sure you're not jumping out of cover, and then when she dashes to you, make sure that she has somewhere safe to go. So like rooftops, for example, where she can just land on and stand on and stay safe, stay around those. Remember that you're a lot safer when you've got a Mercy like cuddling you, so you can just spam rockets as much as you like. So, you know, you can probably spam 1 or 2 more rockets. So when I talk about Pharah, I generally talk about like you want to go 1, 2, change position, 1, 2, change position. When you have a Mercy, you can be a little bit more liberal. You can go like 1, 2, 3, and then change position. Ooh, isn't it exciting? And just be very aware of like giving Mercy places where she can hide. If you're flying around out in the open and she jumps up to you, then that's her suicide mission following your suicide mission. And people will focus the Mercy first, so she'll die first, and that's well, it's her fault for following you, but it's your fault for dragging her out there. What's the biggest difference between GM and Plat low rank Mercy play? In GM with Mercy, people shout at you and tell you to play Ana. And in Plat low ranked, people say, "Oh, thank God it's a Mercy, not an Ana." No, seriously. In GM, you want to be holding more for the team wipes. In Plat and lower, you want to be going more for tempo reses. Because, like I said, team fight, like people deal, the better a player is, the more damage they will deal. They will hit more shots. They will put more damage out on the field. They will hurt people more. So, they will kill people faster. The time to kill is vastly superior to a low rank player. When you're playing against a pro, the time to kill is like fucking blitzing. It hurts how quickly they can kill you, and it's surprising when it happens because you're so used to like calibrating to someone else. And it's like this when I played against Valkyr, for example. I was staying out too long as the Ana, and he was landing 3 rockets on me because I wasn't used to a Pharah being that accurate. So my internal clock of like I can stay out for about this long against a Pharah had to be readjusted to be shorter because Valkyr's that much better of a Pharah than your average Pharah player. The same is true with GM and Platinum. In Platinum, the Soldier 76 probably isn't going to land as many shots as the GM Soldier 76, so you will survive a bit longer. That means team fights go longer. That means your healing is more effective because you have more time to apply that healing. It means a lot of different things. So don't be afraid to sort of be more involved with the fight, put more healing out there, do the hiding thing less unless they have stuff like Graviton ready. If you haven't seen a Graviton surge in a while, then start thinking about that. Your Mercy, you're not busy shooting at stuff, you're not thinking about aiming, you should be thinking about ultimate economy. How can I swing it? What do they have available? What's going to wipe my team next? How do I prepare for that? How do I position for that? Use that free time, that free mental space. Not like checking websites and playing with one hand and doing whatever the fuck you want to do on the side. Instead, focus on ultimate economy, what's going to wipe the team, all that kind of stuff. So your teams avoid Ana plus Mercy. It can work on defense, actually. As a defensive team lineup, Ana plus Mercy is very hard to crack because the healing output that Mercy has then is just staggering, even with the current sort of meta. If you're running Ana plus Mercy, you probably want to be running like a hit scan comp, or you want to be running a pharmacy. So, I actually watched some pro level games today. I was watching NIP almost lose, which was fascinating. And I also watched Reunited lose. There was some Pharmacy coming out there, for example. Like, Pharmacy is probably the one exception just because Pharah is that much better with Mercy, just glued to her backside. And yeah, I'd say Ana plus Mercy is okay. It's just you're losing a little bit. And again, this is kind of the problem with Mercy. This is where people say Mercy needs something else in her kit just to make her a little bit more exciting, a little bit more interesting. I'd say damage amp is the risky thing. Or she needs an ability maybe to like damage amp and heal slowly at the same time. I don't know. Like have a priority beam or something and a low priority beam. I don't know. I leave that to Blizzard to figure out because right now Mercy just, instead of Ana Mercy on attack, for example, you want to have, you definitely don't want to have Ana Mercy on attack. There's just better choices. Mercy to me is a defensive hero primarily, unless you're running Pharah. And Ana Mercy on defense is pretty good because you can just pick people back up and then instantly start healing up again because you've got the grenade and stuff like that. But Ana Zenyatta, for example, could be a better comp against them. Ana Lucio, much better for attack just because you get speed boost and you really want that. Also, actually, it's worth mentioning, if you aren't confident in playing Ana, Symmetra Mercy isn't bad. The only problem with Symmetra Mercy is they're kind of counterintuitive, where Symmetra wants people to die and then use the teleporter to get maximum value out of the teleporter, while Mercy wants people to die to get maximum value out of the res. So you have, 2 safety nets, but they don't quite... you got 2 heroes kind of providing the same thing, and that's not a good thing ever. Do you need Harambe vids? Sure, send them in. Yeah, Winston would actually be a good one. Yeah, Ana, the Ana lets Mercy heal and get her ult faster. Yeah, Ana plus Mercy healing is really, really crazy. I think Mercy heals 68 heal per second. I think it's at 55. Last I heard, it was 50 or 55. I think it's 50 because I think Winston's 54 DPS and he can out DPS a Mercy heal. I think. A certain supports Mercy to try and prioritize to run to or hide with Protector. You shouldn't be running to supports if you're feeling scared. The worst thing you can do, when I was playing with Miska the other day, and it was his first time playing Zenyatta, and I was playing Ana. He had a habit to keep running up next to me, Bad idea, because if an enemy Genji sees that, he's just going to dash, draw a Dragon Blade and kill both of us. If Pharah sees that, she's going to barrage both of us. Instant value. You actually want to be staying somewhat far apart. As Mercy, like, do not worry about damage you take as Mercy, because if you get in cover, you start healing yourself after 1 second now. That got buffed, and it's so powerful. It's so hard to kill Mercy. You've got to burst Mercy down, because if she can hide, she will just heal back up to 4, and she will keep doing it. It's why, like, if you're playing Tracer or Genji and you're trying to kill a Mercy, you've just got to consistently keep hitting her with things, because if you don't, and this is more true for Genji versus Mercy, but if you don't, like, keep meleeing her every now and then, she will just start healing right back up and it becomes a nightmare. So don't go to supports. But dashing to like a Reinhardt, for example, just cuddling with Reinhardt, not a bad idea, because then he can just swing and kill anything chasing you, and you can just hide around him and duke around him, heal yourself back up. You just got to be careful you're not dashing to the enemy team, and just find cover, and yeah, stay alive. McCree is also very good. Mercy versus other healers, when to pick up versus someone else. I'd say right now, like, Mercy plus Ana defenses are okay, and when you have a Pharah on your team. Like, those are the 2 times I would say. I think Mercy might need a little bump, but I want to see Ana get nerfed further first. Like, I think the problem is Ana's still too strong, rather than Mercy's too good. Mercy's not good enough. The reason is simple, is that Ana has an overloaded kit, plus provides the fastest healing in the game, so why would you never pick Ana? Rez is, like, an incredible ultimate, but it kind of sucks that you don't get to use it more. We'll take 1 or 2 more questions. It looks like questions are starting to burn out. Here we go. 50% damage boosters on PTI, now it's 30. It's on 30 now. It got nerfed a while ago. I'm trying to think when. It was the end, because I know there was a long time in the meta where Mercy was viable purely because she had the 50% damage amp, and that was just too much. So it got nerfed down because of that. It might have been during the beta only, and then Zenyatta followed suit afterwards. Any reasons to run Mercy over Arena? We covered that. Is Mercy the same as PC and console, like Torby or Turret does less in console? No, Mercy should. I think Mercy's the same on PC and console in terms of how she works. What is your opinion on pistol only Mercy? Bad. If you want to deal damage, there's better heroes. Don't do it. Okay, I think that'll do for us for now. So heal me, for God's sake. Oh god, I think we just caught up to the heal me. Widows, heal me. Yes. Trace is actually really annoying. Can you send in multiple VODs at once? I'd send him like 1 or 2 at a time. Like, don't go crazy, because if you start spamming it, I'm probably just going to think, oh, Jesus, and then probably back away from it. Like, just knowing me as a person, I'll probably go, holy shit, and that's a bit too try hard. Just calm down, friend. So just a bit every now and then. If there's a new patch, then it's not a bad idea to start sending in some fresh footage. Like now, like there's a lot of footage that's kind of outdated because the old patch, January 24th, happened. So getting in new footage instead would be nice. Do you have any Sombra or Reaper footage? We did Sombra yesterday. That'll be on the YouTube channel tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow morning. So look out for that if you want to see Sombra. It was a really good coach in the many. It's probably my favorite coach in the many so far. Reaper footage, I need some. Send it in. Yeah, I think that's about it. That's probably going to be, how do you deal with a Tracer that spawn camps you and your team won't help? If Tracer's spawn camping you, then yeah, you can't really deal with that. You just got to tell your team that you need help. But if Tracer's spawn camping you, then your team's probably winning, because when your team starts losing, they'll be at the spawn with you. So you might be okay. How do you deal with a farm Mercy? Burst damage, kill the Mercy. That's enough questions. That's enough questions. Oh Jesus. I think we've done enough questions for now. We're going to go and play some games. So start saying bye YouTube, Twitch chat. Say bye YouTube. But yeah, if you do want to send footage in, the instructions are here. It's also below in the description. If you're watching on YouTube, I put it down there as well, so click on the description. But just to explain it to you, send it into oamreviews@gmail.com. Put in the hero name in the title, put in the rank that you are at, and put in if you are a Twitch subscriber or not. Just because Twitch subscribers get a little bit of extra priority just as an incentive for people to sub, help support the channel, help support the series, and also just for me to give something back to them. Otherwise, is there anything else I need to say? Yeah, in the body, just put a description of the game, maybe 1 or 2 things that you feel you wanted help with. You know, this person saying stuff like, I think I can, wondering what I can improve in regards to my positioning. So, for example, you're staying on that bridge a lot that I didn't like because it's very just visible. You want to be behind your team a little bit more, hidden away. Stuff like that. Decision making, just keeping your eye on the enemy team a bit more, for example. The more factors I can take into account when making said decisions. It's very helpful. It helps me like frame the entire thing. Also, apparently, by the way, in this email as well, he said, I didn't record it, but I got to 2,999 SR after this Blizzard Y. This poor soul. Poor man. But yeah, that's about it from us today. Join us on stream as well, sometime 10 p.m. GMT, Thursday to Monday as well. Hopefully, I'll see you there. Toodles!